Now at 9, authorities in southeast Kansas arrest 2 people wanted for allegedly assaulting a police officer. Plus, how the Salvation Army in Pittsburgh is raising money for its Project Warmth campaign, and
PSU students are getting into the Halloween spirit with some pumpkin carving, some of them carving for the very first time. I'm Anthony Saviello with the story.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Dow Quick. Authorities in Allen County, Kansas arrest 2 people accused of assaulting a Jasper, Missouri police officer. You might recall the Monday assault had happened at Pete's gas station in Jasper. A witness captured some of the event on cell phone video. Authorities say a man and woman punched an officer who was performing a routine pat search. Then, as the 2 were driving away, they ran over the officer's foot. Well, authorities have tracked down the suspects, Brandon David and Raven Gomez, to a property near Moran, Kansas. They arrested the 2 suspects without incident. The Cherokee County Sheriff's Office is warning residents about an ongoing scam that's been increasing in the area. The scam consists of a text message from an unknown number that indicates the U.S. Postal Service requires a response regarding the delivery of a package. KOAM's Fernanda Silva has details.
They pretty much said that they had a package for me, but they were unable to deliver it. They needed more delivery information. I knew I didn't have anything coming through the post office, so I knew it was a scam.
Columbus resident Tom Peterson was aware of one of the red flags that helps identify a scam that has been on the rise in the area. But besides that, there are other ways to help identify the scam. A lot of these scam text messages look just like this one. It asks you to copy and paste a link to the web browser and then add address information. But if you look closer, there are other red flags here. There's some spelling mistakes and the message was sent by an email. According to the Cherokee County Sheriff, the messages are sent by thieves who are trying to obtain personal information.
If a resident does end up clicking on that link and providing personal information and they feel like their identity or their financial institutions have been compromised, then contact local law enforcement. We can help guide them through some steps, which would include notifying the credit reporting bureaus, notifying their banks, notifying credit card companies.
Having received one of these messages, Carrie and Gruff found another strategy to verify the legitimacy of the text.
I called them to make sure it wasn't a scam, is why, because I just assumed it probably was.
The sheriff also asks residents who ended up clicking on the link and providing information to scammers not to be embarrassed.
We just want to encourage residents, if you get a text message from anybody that is posing to be a postal official or even a trusted business or bank representative or any government agency, to be cautious of that. If it's an unsolicited text, it's most likely going to be a scam.
His final recommendation?
Have that conversation with your elderly family members and parents so that they know that should they become victimized by this, they can come to you and we can work together to get things taken care of.
In Columbus, Fernanda Silva, KOAM News.
The United States Postal Inspection Service recommends that if you've never signed up for a USPS tracking request for a specific package, please do not click on the link. Missouri's Attorney General is warning residents about scams involving tickets to college football games. The AG has some tips when buying tickets. Know your vendor, make sure they're trustworthy. Use a credit card when buying so you have greater protections against fraud. And if you get physical tickets, not the e-tickets, but the actual paper tickets, inspect them to make sure they are legit. Beautiful weather continues. Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy.
Yeah, it looks great. Another great day for us today. Temperature is fantastic. 72 was our high, just above our average high of 70 degrees. We started at 47, record high 93 setback in 2005. Look at our temps, 55 in Stockton, Carthage at 58, Neosho at 55. We have Welch at 57, Chanute sitting at 59 degrees, but pretty much clear skies. This is what we're going to see as we go through the overnight hours for us tonight. In fact, your planner into the morning, we drop back near 50, back to 61 by 10 o'clock in the morning. And here's what we're going to be focusing on. Fantastic temps. The weekend looks great. We are going to have a lot of clouds. better chances for rain next week. We're going to be talking about all of that coming up here in just a little bit.
See you soon. Folks in Pittsburgh turned out today to show their support for the annual Project Warmth fundraiser. The project collects new and gently used coats and blankets, also cash donations to help people in need during extremely cold weather. The event also provided chili and soup and pie for $10 per person as a way to raise funds. Project Warmth doesn't just collect winter wear, it also provides a way to help people who have trouble paying for utility bills.
We're here to help our neighbors in Crawford County who are having a difficult time getting their utility bills paid. So this is just a way for the whole community to come together to help out people find themselves maybe in an emergency situation and just to help them to keep warm during the winter month.
This is the 36th year for that fundraiser. The Webb City Fire Department today hosted their annual Badges and Burgers fundraiser. Community members could pick up $5 meals that include a hamburger or cheeseburger, chips, drink, and a dessert. Delivery options were available for anyone ordering 5 meals or more.
You know, a lot of local people are here. You can sit around the station, grab you a quick lunch for $5. You'll get to visit. We got some raffle prizes you can buy chances for, and just a good community event to get everybody involved.
This year's funds go to City of Webb City employees and families. The International Student Association at Pitt State got students into the fall spirit. KOAM's Anthony Saviello has that story.
For students at Pitt State, the fall season is in full swing, and what better way to embrace it than with pumpkin carving? International students from PSU hosted the event, exposing their peers to an experience that most of them have never done before.
It's harder than I thought, but it's fun. And then the Stormtrooper, it's gonna be sick.
The event wasn't exclusive to international students. All PSU students were invited. But even those who grew up carving pumpkins had to get back into the groove. When's the last time you guys carved pumpkins?
Like 4 years.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
More than that.
Long time.
Oh, yeah.
However, the atmosphere this tradition creates isn't lost on any of these students.
I think it's important to build a community, like whether you're from the same place or not. I think it's important to bring people together and to meet new people from different places and just have fun together.
I feel really happy because everyone's like, I can see everyone's design and everyone has their ideas and like, they got a lot of good designs there. It's definitely better than mine, but
for your first time, it's pretty impressive. So for students who've never carved a pumpkin before, or even the ones that have, the experience is as unique as the pumpkins they're carving and the people who are carving them. Reporting in Pittsburgh, Anthony Saviello, KOAM News.
Students also got to roast hot dogs and marshmallows and participate in yard games. How fun is that? Main Street in Joplin gets a fall makeover for the final third Thursday of 2023. And every third Thursday, the community gathers to shop from local artisans, enjoy food trucks, live music, and entertainment. But tonight's theme was Harvest Festival. It featured fall-themed activities and costumes. Connect to Culture hosted more than 700 Joplin second graders for free exclusive showings of Tomas Rivera's musical Tomas and the Library Lady at the Cornell Complex. It's based on Rivera's life. The bilingual musical tells the story of how reading and education can change a person's life. This event is part of C2C's Ignite series, which is an effort to ignite students' passion for arts and culture in everyday life.
A lot of different things. Live theater and live music is so important for kids as they are developing, for communication skills, for empathy building. They get to watch this fantastical play, sometimes go out. Sometimes it's a very, normal life situation too, but they get to learn about different people or different cultures.
Just in this 2022-23 performance season, they've hosted more than 1,500 Joplin students for 9 events ranging from performances to workshops to master classes. Some local 4th and 5th graders went back in time today. The annual Cato Kids Day took these kids to Cato, Kansas and back to the 1800s. They got to experience a one-room schoolhouse, pioneer kids games, covered wagons, blacksmithing, 1800s weaponry, cowboys, Native Americans, and the Gettysburg Address.
I love that the students get to take away learning about our history in a fun way and learning about the things that men and women and children before us had to experience and got to experience.
A separate event, Cato Days, will be held for the general public on October 21st, that's Saturday, from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Coming up, we're going to learn about the significance of this massive hillside ribbon painted by Mercy Hospital in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. A new study suggests people who live alone are more likely to die from cancer. Among adults 18 to 64 years old, 2.5% of the nearly 115,000 people studied died from cancer during the study period. In contrast, just 1.6% of the more than 350,000 people living with others died. That suggested adults living alone had a 32% higher risk of cancer death. A tradition that goes beyond the painted grass. KOAM's Amber Jenkins spoke to the maintenance lead at Mercy Hospital about the iconic ribbon he paints every year.
And I've always looked at it this way: if I can take somebody that has breast cancer and if I can have him see that ribbon and just take that away for a little bit, it's worth doing.
Since 2015, Randy Dixon used a sprayer equipped with a 100-foot hose to paint a 90 by 50-foot breast cancer awareness ribbon every October. His motivation, honoring the ones who passed on.
Personal friend, her sister-in-law was diagnosed with breast cancer, and she passed away at 36 years old and left 2 kids, husband, and so that took on a whole new meaning for me. So.
It's just very near and dear to my heart that Randy holds our friendship that close. That's just the kind of guy he is, though.
Dixon also honors a fellow coworker who's fighting the same battle that her mom fought twice.
And she unfortunately lost her battle to breast cancer, so I feel blessed to work at Mercy and get my screening mammogram. So prior to this year, I looked forward to seeing that ribbon so it could remind me of my mom.
The initials on the ribbon doesn't just honor the ones who have lost their life to breast cancer, but show their impact, so their battle wasn't in vain.
I'm so thankful that I made the promise to Bebe to be proactive with my health and be here to be able to help take care of her kids.
To Tracy, the ribbon also means strength.
I couldn't wait for that ribbon so I could see my mom's initials in there. I wore a ribbon at her funeral, and so we keep it in our vehicles, and every day I touch that ribbon when I'm getting ready to go on a journey.
Reporting in Joplin, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
Randy Dixon says he didn't paint the ribbon last year due to the drought. Doug is next with a complete look at the forecast, and later we're going to hear from the Pitt State Gorillas as they look to go 8-0 when they take on Northwest Missouri this weekend.
Well, it turned out to be another great day for us today. Temperature is fantastic. We've been in a really nice stretch of fall-like weather across the region. In fact, let's look at October so far. Week 1, we started out hot. We were in the 80s. And then as we got into the first weekend, our temperatures dropped below normal. Then last week above normal, and then we dropped below normal last weekend, all the way until yesterday. In the past couple days, we've been above normal. So it's slightly above normal for the month, 12 days above. 7 days have been below. Temperatures across the board, most of us upper 50s. We're going to continue to slide back as we go through the overnight hours, but it looks great. Here's 7th, here's the range line 59. And our visibility is good. Southerly winds at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Indigo sky also looks pretty good. We have clear skies out there, of course, Indigo, just outside of Seneca, Missouri. So your late night planner by 11, 57, 51 by 7. I think our overnight low right around 50. Sunny skies in the morning, back to 61 by 10 a.m. But there's nothing going on here. In fact, the Central Plains look great. Here's our storm system rotating away that gave us all the clouds and some sprinkles yesterday, and our upper level flow. We have a northwest flow, nothing going on out west. So our weather as we trend into the weekend is shaping up pretty good. Let me step you through the next 48 hours. We're going to stop this tomorrow morning, about 7 a.m. Temperature sitting upper 40s to near 50. Maybe a few clouds, but in general, mostly sunny skies, near 70 by noon. Then once we get into the afternoon, look at this, Stockton 75, 75 Neosho, 79 in Miami, 80 Chanute, Independence, up to about 81. Southerly winds return into Saturday morning, overnight lows mid-50s. Then we get another weak front that drops through Saturday, but still, I think we're going to make it into the upper 70s. We are going to get more clouds in here once we get into Saturday afternoon, but until then, we are shaping up pretty good. All right, here's your day planner tomorrow. 9 a.m. 56, 72 by 1, 75 by 5. Sunny skies all day long, so it looks great. Friday looks fantastic. And then if we go into 4-state, Friday night, high school football, perfect weather, 68 at kickoff tomorrow evening. We'll drop down to about 60 by the fourth quarter. And this great weather trends into the weekend. 77 on Saturday. Again, mild, a lot of clouds, great fall temps, 74 once we get into Sunday afternoon. And it continues. Monday, 77 degrees. So next 4 days, even though we're going to have more clouds, minus tomorrow, are shaping up pretty good. Now, rain chances really increase, showers, thunderstorms for us next week. And of course, in the second part of the show, second half hour, we're going to break down all the rain chances for next week.
And we certainly need some rain.
We do.
Thanks, Doug. As global temperatures continue to rise, expect more intense hurricanes. That's from a new study that looked at more than 800 tropical cyclones in the Atlantic since 1971. Researchers say Atlantic hurricanes are now more than twice as likely to rapidly intensify from minor hurricanes to potentially catastrophic ones. It's a troubling trend for climate scientists.
The warning here is that we've already seen an increase in the rate at which storms are strengthening in the Atlantic. And if we don't change our behavior, if we don't work to lower our emissions, then that's a trend that we likely could expect to see continue to happen into the future.
2023 has been a record-setting year for ocean temperatures. Coming up, what a new analysis shows about how expensive heating bills will be this year. Most Americans should see their heating bills fall this winter. Recent analysis by the Energy Information Administration shows the most prominent forms of energy for heating, natural gas and electricity, are set to decline this winter after a large increase last year. The agency predicts the cost of heating a home with natural gas is likely to drop by an average of 21% from last year, saving the average household about $160 over the course of the winter. Mortgage rates rose to an average of 7.7% for the week ending October 13th. The Mortgage Bankers Association says it's the highest level since November of 2000. The rise caused mortgage demand to fall to the lowest level since 1995. More home buyers are turning to adjustable rate mortgages, with demand rising to the highest share of overall mortgages in 11 months. But it was not enough to offset the sharp pullback in home buying. Thanksgiving meals will be a little bit cheaper for people shopping at Walmart and Aldi this year. Starting on November 1st, both supermarket chains say they're going to be cutting prices for a Thanksgiving and Christmas meal. Walmart has not yet released how much its holiday meal baskets will cost, but did share that it'll include turkey priced at less than $1 per pound. Aldi says it'll slash costs by up to 50% on some items like gravy, potatoes, pumpkin pie, and butter. Up next, we're going to meet a newlywed couple in Kansas who just tied the knot at age 96. Cheers to the newlyweds. That's Doris Kirks and Carl W. Cruz, who are both 96 years young. The couple met 2 years ago at Cedar Lakes Village in Olathe, Kansas, where they are both residents. Doris and Carl say they began to bond over their love for playing pool. And from that point on, they knew they wanted to be together for the rest of their lives. Congratulations. We wish them well. 30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports coming your way. Firefighters in Girard discuss a half-cent sales tax question going before voters. Plus, Israel battles Hezbollah along the Lebanon border as it prepares for a full ground invasion of Gaza. The city of Girard today hosted a public meeting to discuss a proposed half-cent public safety sales tax. It was a chance for residents to ask questions about the tax and have those questions answered by the fire and police departments. The tax would fund renovations to the facilities, new equipment purchases, hiring more staff. There'll be another meeting next Thursday at 7 p.m. at the Girard Civic Center. The proposal goes to the public for a vote on November 7th. A major development in the Georgia election interference case against former President Donald Trump. A second one of his co-defendants, attorney Sidney Powell, pleaded guilty today and agreed to testify against Mr. Trump and his other allies. Fox News correspondent Rebecca Castor has the latest from Washington.
Do you understand that by pleading guilty, you are giving up the right to a trial by jury?
Yes. Pro-Trump attorney Sidney Powell making a last-ditch deal with prosecutors. One day before jury selection for her trial was set to begin.
Yes.
Powell is one of 19 defendants, including former President Donald Trump, charged in Georgia for trying to interfere with the 2020 election results.
They indicted me because I attacked an election that was rigged and stolen, and everybody knows it.
As one of Trump's attorneys at the time, Powell spread unfounded claims about widespread voter fraud and filed multiple lawsuits attempting to reverse the outcome. She's also admitted to tampering with voting machines in Coffee County, Georgia.
There was and is still massive voter fraud across this country.
As part of her deal, Powell will do no jail time. Instead, she'll face 6 years of probation, a $6,000 fine, and $2,700 in restitution to the state. She must also write an apology letter to Georgians and testify truthfully against Trump, Mark Meadows, Rudy Giuliani, and other co-conspirators.
You don't get 6 years probation and no jail time because you don't have good information.
Powell is the second co-defendant in this case to plead guilty and agree to work with prosecutors. Bail bondsman Scott Hall could also be asked to testify. Trump and his other co-defendants have pleaded not guilty. A trial date has not been set for the former president. In Washington, Rebecca Castor, Fox News.
Congressman Jim Jordan today agreed to cancel a third round of voting for the House Speaker's race. Jordan says he's not bowing out of the House Speaker's race, but he is calling for a sort of timeout. He's now backing a plan to give Speaker Pro Tem Patrick McHenry expanded power to preside over the House. There are enough Republicans who oppose the temporary Speaker plan to kill it unless a majority of Republicans make a deal with Democrats to pass that bill. If you plan to travel abroad soon, you might want to be extra careful about safety. The State Department is issuing a rare worldwide alert for Americans in other countries. It warns they should exercise increased caution due to international tensions. The department says terrorist attacks could be more likely. It also notes the possibility of demonstrations or violence against U.S. citizens. Israeli forces continue to exchange fire with Iranian-backed Hezbollah along the Lebanon border. It comes as Israeli forces move closer to a potential ground invasion. Fox News correspondent Madeline Rivera has more.
Tensions building along Israel's northern border. Hamas factions in southern Lebanon are claiming responsibility for firing dozens of rockets into the region, leaving at least 2 people injured. As fighting intensifies, the State Department is urging Americans to leave Lebanon as soon as possible. The U.S. is also moving a naval command and control ship into the eastern Mediterranean to deter other militant groups.
That gives you a very potent lethal force. They've got over 600 Tomahawk land attack missiles. They can reach out to Tehran. They can reach out to Fordo. They can reach out anywhere.
Back to the Gaza Strip, ground forces are massing along the border. Israeli officials tell Fox News they are still conducting cross-border raids into Gaza to clear the area of militants and locate hostages. The country's defense minister says the battle will be difficult.
We will pay prices, and we will continue until we complete the mission fully.
Meanwhile, Israel's military says Hamas is holding more than 200 people hostage in Gaza. Some fear additional monetary aid could be used to further build up Hamas's network of tunnels where hostages are believed to be hidden.
Instead of building schools and hospitals and libraries and other civil projects, this money that we all sent for humanitarian aid and such went to building these terror tunnels.
Israeli forces say more than 7,000 rockets have been fired into Israel since this war began. In Jerusalem, Mallory Rivera, Fox News.
A bit later, how a cost of living adjustment is going to impact more than 71 million Americans receiving Social Security and Supplemental Security income benefits.
Of course, it turned out to be another great day for us today. Plenty of sunshine, and we have clear skies still out there for us right now. Nice shot. This is Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Looks pretty good. As we have clear skies, we're going to see the clear skies as we go through the overnight hours. All right, temps. Most of us are sitting upper 50s across the region. I think most of us will drop back near 50 a little bit later on tonight. 7th and range line, camera went black and white. 59 visibility at 10 miles, and it looks pretty good through the night. 57 dropped to 51 by 7 a.m. Overnight low near 50, back to 61 by 10 o'clock in the morning. But we do need some rain. Of course, we didn't see any today. For the month, we're at 1.77 inches. But look at this. We have a deficit of over 11 inches for the year of 2023. So what are we going to see? Let's move to Sunday. Whole bunch of nothing here. We do have some clouds that start to work in, but we're watching what happens out to the west. Look at this. So this is Monday. Storm system drops in toward Las Vegas. We start to get some moisture, which is actually a tropical system out across the Pacific. So some of that leftover tropical moisture heads toward us. As we go into Tuesday, showers, thunderstorms spread in. We're watching that area of low pressure get a little bit closer to us. It shoots out, moves right over us on Wednesday, showers and thunderstorms, and then it shifts on by, and then look at this, right behind it. So this is Thursday evening, here comes another system, some more rain as we go into Friday. That moves on by, and then look at this, we reload back toward the west by next Sunday, so more rain. So we have plenty of chances as we go into the next week. So if we look at rainfall potential for next week, obviously a lot wetter than what we are seeing now. A lot of areas are going to pick up 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 inches of rain. Now, until this occurs, we look pretty good, pretty calm. As we go through the night tonight, clear skies, temperatures drop back right around 50. As we go through the morning hours tomorrow, by noon, pushing 70. Once we get into the afternoon, 75 Stockton, Carthage, 77 at Grand Lake. Look at Parsons up to 80 degrees. Tomorrow night, mostly clear skies, mid-50s, and then as we go into Saturday, we do get a weak front that pushes through, so a little breezy, but temperatures still into the upper 70s for highs. So we see a nice little stretch of weather. All right, let's look at your day planner for your Friday. 51 in the morning, by 11, 66, by 3, 75, sunny skies all day long, so it looks great. 77 on Saturday, 76 on Sunday, 77 on Monday. Then those chances of showers and thunderstorms that we just talked about kind of pretty persistent through the week next week.
So nice weather for the Maple Leaf Festival
Yeah, it
in
looks
Carthage
great.
and the other weekend
Yeah.
events, and then the rain that we need.
There you go.
Sounds perfect. Coming up in sports, Diamond Volleyball plays for a district championship. Plus, Miami kicks off week 9 of the high school football season tonight. John Dales has highlights from those games and more up next.
Number 2 Pitt State football heads on the road for a rivalry game the second week in a row. The Gorillas head to Maryville to face Northwest Missouri. And for a defense coming off a 3-turnover performance in Joplin, it relishes the opportunity to head into hostile territory.
Yeah, I played there 2 years ago, and it was sellout crowd. I know this weekend's their homecoming and their Hall of Fame weekend, and so there'll be a ton of people there. And yeah, like you said, being a defensive guy and kind of, you know, there's nothing better than taking the energy out of a stadium when an offense can't get rolling. And so that's our job as a defense, force 3 and outs, force turnovers, and like I said earlier, get Chad and our offense more possessions.
I'd be lying if I said that, there wasn't something different about it, just how our guys kind of go about their work and maybe the attention to detail. And, that first Sunday meeting when you throw up some of the stats and some of the information about Northwest, you can tell everybody's paying attention for sure.
The Gorillas haven't lost a conference road game since November 2021. They haven't lost a conference game since November of that year, road game since October of that year. That was a 1-point loss to Northwest, and the last time PSU made the trip to Maryville. Our sports reporter Brock Baldridge will have you covered during that game, and we'll bring you the highlights that night. Diamond Volleyball is the top seed in the Class 2 District 11 tournament, beat Sarcoxy last night, and tonight plays host team Miller for the district championship. Diamond is the 1 seed on the road, taking on the home team. That's the 2-seeded Miller Cardinals. Early in the first set, Miller leading 3-2, but Caitlin Surrey with the rejection later in the set. Janelyn Kralasek is going to place this perfectly over the top and onto the floor. Diamond with a little bit of momentum, still in the first. Aubrey Ball spikes this one home. Big time kill. Diamond continues that momentum, going right back to Ball again as she spikes it off the hands of the Miller player up front. Diamond takes the first set 25-20. Into the second set, Lauren Turner hits it off the net but still gets enough of it for the kill. Diamond wins the second set as well, so now we're into the third. Turner again keeps it between the lines. That's good for the kill. And the Wildcats student section starting to feel it. Match point in the third set. Miller knocks it into the net. That'll do it. Diamond Wildcats get the road win over Miller 3-0 and claim the district championship.
To win, it's just so exciting. I mean, to beat Miller of all people, they're kind of one of our biggest rivals in volleyball. So it's just especially district championship, they've crushed us before. So coming in it and just knowing we want to win, everyone's in it, everyone's on the boat, we're here to win. So it was pretty exciting.
High school football week 9 quickly approaching, and before tomorrow's Friday night lights, Miami plays on Thursday night for the second week in a row. War Dogs at home against Ulaga. Important game for playoff seeding between the two district foes. First quarter, War Dogs already up 7-0. Hunter Nichols powers into the end zone for his second touchdown of the evening. Ulaga would answer part of 14 unanswered points. This scramble by Brady Hoisington into the end zone ties the game up. We're not at 14. War Dogs, though, dip into the bag of tricks to respond. Little flea flicker here. Sam Lillard loads up, throws deep to Logan Sumakar. Big catch. That drive would end in another Miami touchdown. Then 22-21 War Dogs. Nichols again. We saw the power. Now we see the speed. Racing down that far sideline and right into your living room. That would drive, it would end in another touchdown. 29-21, Miami leads at half. War Dogs go on to win their third in a row. Final score 36-27. That's all for sports. Back with more news after this.
More than 71 million Americans receive Social Security and Supplemental Security income benefits. Starting in 2024, those recipients are going to see a new cost of living adjustment. Reporter Cole Higgins explains the impact.
Seniors who receive Social Security benefits are going to see a smaller bump in their checks in 2024. 3.2%, the Social Security Administration announced last week. That's smaller than the inflation-fueled increases seniors saw over the last 2 years.
3.2% is literally better than nothing. We would prefer that it was higher, of course.
In 2023, the cost of living adjustment was 8.7%, which was the largest in more than 40 years. Starting in January, retirees' monthly payments are expected to be an average of $1,907, an increase of $59. Shannon Benton, the executive director with the Senior Citizens League, an advocacy group, says the inflation gauge is based on price changes for urban wage earners and clerical workers rather than the spending habits of seniors.
In a recent survey by the Senior Citizens League, 80% of participants said that they think Congress should beef up inflation protection by providing a cost of living adjustment that more accurately reflects their spending habits.
Many elderly Americans are worried these benefits won't cover their basic living expenses.
We used to be able to say, well, you know, if you can't afford beef, we'll get chicken. If you can't afford chicken, you can get pork. But right now, everything is a lot higher than it was several years ago.
For Consumer Watch, I'm Cole Higgins.
Coming up, why a popular late night show is going off the air temporarily. A late night talk show host takes a break. A pair of popular comedians take fans behind the scenes and more. Fox's Kristen Goodwin has the latest in the Hollywood nation.
I had given up on acting. I was done.
Stallone gets personal. Two comedy icons unite, and Colbert goes off air in the Hollywood nation. The Late Show has been pulled from its nightly rotation for the remainder of this week as Stephen Colbert recovers from COVID-19. After canceling Tuesday's show, the host announced on social media Wednesday he's been advised by his doctor to take the rest of the week off.
I said, why don't we do something together?
Kevin Hart and Chris Rock star in Headliners Only. The documentary gives fans a behind-the-scenes look at the comedians during their Only Headliners Allowed tour from this past July. It will also feature the duo talking about their personal lives, careers, and the bond they share. The film debuts on Netflix December 12th.
Who is this man? I'm Sylvester Stallone.
Netflix also shines the spotlight on Sylvester Stallone. The streamer shared the official trailer to the new documentary Sly, featuring the action icon reflecting on his life and career. Arnold Schwarzenegger and Quentin Tarantino are among the many guest interviews. It will be available to stream November 3rd. And Blake Shelton returns to the road in 2024 for the second leg of his Back to the Honky Tonk tour. He will be joined by country star Dustin Lynch and rising country artist Emily Ann Roberts. The 17-date run kicks off in Hershey, Pennsylvania, February 22nd. In Hollywood, Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
And that's our time for tonight. Thanks for joining us. We're going to leave you with video of a baby chimpanzee at an Oklahoma zoo celebrating her birthday. Let's make it a great tomorrow.